Hello, and thank you for taking the time to look through this PowerPoint and listen to the information about PSHE and citizenship education at Lavington School. As we were unable to hold the parent information evening in person, we want to share a little more information and hope that you find this useful. If you do have any further questions or you'd like to see any of the resources discussed, then please do email the email address which you'll find on the last slide of this PowerPoint. Thank you very much. As you may be aware, from September this year, health education and relationships and sex education have become compulsory in all secondary schools. Although we covered lots of these topics in our PSHE teaching before September, the changes in the curriculum, which are reflected in this PowerPoint, do reflect the changes to the compulsory nature of PSHE education. Parents do retain the right to withdraw their child from sex education, and that's topics not covered in the science national curriculum. However, 3 terms before a child is 16, this becomes the choice of the child. Health and relationship education, however, is compulsory and all students are expected to sit and be in these lessons. If you would like to discuss the right to withdraw, then please do contact the PSHE email address on the last slide of this PowerPoint. So what does this new statutory guidance actually cover? Now, lots of the topics that are in this statutory guidance are things that were already covered at Lavington School, so not much has really changed, but the idea is that the topics that should cover areas that really do concern young people today, and the whole point is that every pupil is guaranteed a PSHE education that covers mental health and wellbeing, physical health, so including physical lifestyles, being able to administer basic first aid, learning about what healthy, safe relationships look like, and also obviously exploring issues surrounding sex, so understanding consent and what that might look like, how relationships have moved online, but life online in general as well, and then looking at what an intimate relationship should be like as well. So this new statutory guidance is there to make sure that young people are able, when they leave school, to live happy, healthy, safe and informed lives. So what does PSHE and citizenship look like at Lavington School? This slide here gives an overview of different ways it is delivered in different parts of the school. So obviously the first and main way that the statutory PSHE is delivered is through the discrete PSHE and citizenship lessons. At Key Stage 3, students have 50 minutes of this every other week, and the way that it's currently delivered is that students will have 1 term of PSHE and then 1 term of PE, and will then rotate throughout the year. At Key Stage 4, students have 1 lesson, a 50-minute lesson of PSHE each week. The PSHE and citizenship is also then delivered through tutor time. So there are still some tutor time sessions that will be delivered, and they are roughly 30 minutes that will then teach some other elements of the PSHE and citizenship. The PSHE and Citizenship Day is also another way that we are able to invite outside agencies to support our programme. Unfortunately, we have had to postpone that for term 2 this year. Hopefully, we are looking to rearrange that for term 6 this year, or perhaps into next year. Lastly then, another way that elements of PSHE and citizenship are reinforced throughout Lavington School is through our whole school themed terms. And these include planned tutor sessions, assemblies and other whole school events that can take place to encourage students to look at and consider different elements of the PSHE and citizenship course. This slide gives us an overview of the topics that are studied in PSHE and citizenship for Key Stage 3. You can see that each of the topics is colour-coded with a topic key at the bottom. So you can see that the topics that are in the purple colour relate to relationships and sex education. The topics that are in the blue colour relate to health education. The topics in the green colour relate to living in the wider world. The topics in the red colour relate to citizenship. And if you look at the key at the top, we can see that there is a column for lesson topic and tutor topic. And there are 3 of these that are delivered throughout the year. So the lesson topics are the topics that students will be exploring in the discrete PSHE and citizenship lesson that they will have every other term. And we can see that for each year group, they will study a health education, a relationships education, and for most year groups, a living in the wider world topic as well. In the column next to this tells us the tutor topic, tells us what they will be exploring with their tutor in tutor time. And again, we can use the topic key at the bottom to look at the which part of PSHE and citizenship this relates to. The last column also shows us what the plans are for the PSHE and Citizenship Day, where we are able to invite outside external agencies to support us in delivering this. Along the bottom also shows the plan for this year in terms of the themed terms and what in terms of assembly and other things that are promoted across the school, the topic that we will try and reflect upon. Obviously, some of this is open to editing due to the COVID situation, but this is what we would hope to deliver across this year. This slide here again gives us an overview of what will be studied in Key Stage 4, so Year 10 and 11. And we can see, like the topics for Key Stage 3, they follow a similar pattern. So we can see with the topic key, the topics that focus on relationships education, the topics that focus on health education, the topics that focus on living in the wider world, and those that link to citizenship education as well. Similar, Key Stage 3, the lesson topics give us an idea of what will be covered in the PSHE and citizenship discrete lesson. And the tutor topics give us an idea of what will be covered during tutor time. And you can see on the final column as well what is hoped to be delivered in a PSHE and citizenship day. Now at Key Stage 4, students will have a lesson every other week, and for part of the year will be on rotation. So students will all begin with topic A and then will go on rotation through topics B, C, and in Year 10, topic D. At Key Stage 4, students will also have the opportunity in the PSHE and citizenship lesson to explore some RE, religious education topics as well. If you would like more information about this and what will be covered in the RE topics, please do contact the PSHE email address on the last slide, where we can forward those details onto the RE department. But again, this gives us an overview of what will be covered in the lesson topics and in the tutor topics across the year. Like Key Stage 3, this is our aim, what we're hoping to achieve, but this could be developed or could be changed due to the COVID situation. So what will the learning look like in PSHE and citizenship education? On this slide, it gives us an idea of sort of 3 key elements that we would expect to see in a PSHE and citizenship education. Each class has created a safe learning environment by building upon some ground rules at the beginning of each term. These are reviewed and looked at, and students are reminded of these, and the idea is that we're creating a safe learning environment for all, so that all feel able to express themselves and feel comfortable about discussing some of the ideas that we'll be looking at. Another technique that is used in PSHE education is the idea of distancing techniques. So this is looking at scenarios, looking at role plays, looking at examples, looking at other people and exploring ideas or exploring characters to think about how they may deal with a certain situation. And the idea is this, is that it allows students to distance themselves from that learning and, look at a character, but then, without completely reflecting and linking those ideas to themselves. The last technique and thing that will happen at the end of all PSHE and citizenship lessons is this idea of signposting. So students will be signposted, shown sources of support and help, and encouraged to talk to their parents and carers, encouraged to talk to adults, people they trust within the school environment as well, and shown websites and information that they can go to for extra help if they would like to explore in a little bit more detail some of the things discussed in the lesson. So what resources have we used to develop our PSHE and Citizenship programme? Now, one main resource that has been used is the PSHE Association, and this is the national body for personal, social, health and economic education, and it is supporting teachers but also obviously supporting with materials to deliver these new statutory changes, and lots of the areas of the curriculum, if possible, we have used resources created by this association. We have then also tried to use resources as well that have been awarded the PSHE Association mark, which shows that the PSHE Association are saying that these are quality assured resources that are positive and good to use with students. So we have used resources from this association, but also as much as far as possible used resources that have been awarded the PSHE Association quality mark. This slide here shows other organisations that we have sourced resources for to develop our PSHE and Citizenship curriculum. So lots of these websites are and resources do hold the PSHE Association quality mark, and they have been used to support in creating the curriculum. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, but it does give an overview of the other sorts of websites and resources that we have used to create the curriculum. So how can you support your child in their learning in PSHE and citizenship education? And I think the most important thing is really just talking and discussing about the things that they have been learning and answering any questions they might have from anything that's arisen from these lessons. Feedback from the parent survey that was taken at the beginning of the year indicated that parents would like a list of helpful websites to enable them to support their child in discussions about some of the topic areas looked at. So this list was sent out before half term, and we have also added the list to the school PSHE and citizenship website, so that is a resource that you can tap into if you would like extra support in discussing any of these topics with your child. This obviously isn't an exhaustive list. There's lots of information online, but it is a place to start and to support discussions as well. We will also inform parents when we are looking at the sex education topics, because as we discussed on the first slide or second slide, the parents do hold the right to withdraw their children from that. But again, depending on your child, it might be something that you might want to pre-warn them about or have a conversation about before they embark on these series of lessons as well. So where can you find out extra information about the PSHE and citizenship curriculum at Lavington School? Now, this link on this slide here takes you to the school website where we have published our curriculum maps. We've published our PSHE and sex and relationship education policy, where we have also put a copy of this PowerPoint and the helpful websites link. And this is a place to go to find out more about how things are delivered and how the curriculum is delivered at Lavington School. So the key intent of the PSHE and citizenship education at Lavington School is that we want our curriculum to be able to provide our school leavers with the skills, knowledge and attributes to live happy, healthy, safe and informed lives by exploring topics that are relevant to them, that are going to help them now, but also in their adult life to deal with issues that may arise for them in their adult life. Thank you for taking the time to find out more about the PSHE and citizenship education at Lavington School today. Although we would love to have held this meeting in person, the current COVID restrictions have obviously stopped us from being able to do that. So if you would like to comment or would like to find out any more about some of the topics in more detail that are studied, or some of the resources that are used, or to look at some of examples of the resources used, please do contact the email address on this website. But also, if you've got any other questions surrounding how the PSHE citizenship education works at Lavington School, or any more of the specifics surrounding the content that's delivered, please don't hesitate to contact the email address on this slide. Thank you very much for listening.